Hey, bub. This is Wolverine. You're watching Pro Teaches Noobs. This is OG Vegeta. Let's get the views to over 9,000! This is Ryuk. Watch, like, and subscribe, or die.
Hey guys, welcome to another lesson of Pro Teacher's Noob. Today I have with me Pika.
Hey.
And today we're going to be going over quite a lot of Sean Gordon Murphy for a while. Mostly because, well, he's done a lot of stuff in more limited formats, which means we could get through quite a bit. First is crowdfunded books, and then eventually the White Knight stuff. Yep, right now, what's your take on Sean Gordon Murphy and his artwork and his ideas?
Well, it's a shake-up-ish. It has some flaws. Well, the idea part it has flaws, but the way how he's been drawing everything, that's just something that I must have developed over the years of actually having done. And not to mention the patience to get quality like that to be done.
Exactly. So as you can see here, we're obviously going to be starting with his crowdfunding book, starting with Plot Holes. Now, I went over this with Raymond in a non-Pro Teachers Noobs a while back, but I figured, but hey, I've done multiple videos on Doomsday Clock, among other things, so why not this? And are you aware of the premise of this book?
Nope.
Okay, basically, as he said, it says here, in order to survive, a failed comic book artist must fight alongside the fantasy team of his dreams. Realizing he's a fictional character inside a novel that's destined to fail, Cliff joins the Plot Holes, a team of warrior misfits recruited from other failed novels. In order to survive, they must leap from one book to the next, improving each plot so the story can be published, thereby saving each world. So it's basically fictional characters saving each other fictional characters.
Yeah.
But being aware of it. Now, since this being the from there, this was also dedicated in part to his grandmother. In fact, the main character of Ed is based off her. She sadly passed away due to COVID, which was part of the reason behind the book's delays. So yeah, let's get started, shall we? About time. I'm on a bit of a schedule here today. You mind hurrying it up? You call that a spaceship? It's not even scary. Looks like a metal colander from an Ed Wood movie. Tiny gray men. How original. In this interior, cardboard and Christmas lights. Bleep bloop. Sorry, but you guys just won't cut it. Not in this book. Bloop. Bleep and bloop bleep. Bing, 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 bing. Oh, come on. We're waiting. Come on now. And we're wasting time. Bloop bleep. Roar, you're headed your way. Forgive our actions, gentlemen, but this plot will no longer require you. See you later, assholes. Grow. Why didn't we just destroy this in their ship, Ed? We're almost at the end of chapter 3. If we don't start moving, then the rest of the novel will read like shitty Roswell fan fiction. Just do your job, Serge, and stop pretending to be a hero. Leathery skin with big, freaky eyeballs. Reminds me of the night I plowed Johnny's grandma. My grandmother was crushed by a robo-blade in the battle of the dragon Shogun and Shogunite. I just don't get manga. I mean, your eyes are literally too big for your face. If you're Asian, then your head and your eyes shouldn't be big and round. They should be, everyone get back into the footnote. We're not done with the edit. Why must you be so abhorrent, Kevin? You know appearance isn't everything. Little ironic hearing that from a shape-shifting tiger. Perhaps the reason you act like a racist geriatric is to compensate for the fact you look like a toddler. I was created in 1930. I'm older than all of you. Hurry up. The clock is ticking. I'm setting course for Kukivian space. We're here. Roar, can you shapeshift into a Kukovian alien? On gods of the moonstorm, grant me a new form. Oh, flip. This place is creepy, Ed. This is Dad 28OZ requesting permission to upload coordinates. You've eliminated the last of the Garigian ships, terminating their claim over planet Earth. Receiving coordinates now. Bloop, bleep. And Surge, stop that. I'm not doing anything. Some kind of power fluctuating coming from the space station. Bloop, bleep. Ah! And shit, one of those tiny bastards stuck on board. Ah! Upload complete. I think we got a problem. Got a bunch of Cokivian worms right up our ass. Hang on, I'm pulling the bookmark. How you doing, Serge? He's obviously hurt. I'll be okay. Just need to rest. Alien Inc., another self-published masturbatory fiasco, written by some fanboy who didn't think to hire an editor. Hopefully now it'll be a half-decent read. Looks like the edit worked. Reviews are mostly positive. Over 5,000 readers in the first month, translating to 6 languages by the end of the year. Even optioned by Netflix for a series starring Will Smith. I love Will Smith, my favorite black actor. What? Any idea what happened there? The alien tech. Something happened when my powers. Get him to the infirmary. It's too late. Oh my God, no. Don't leave me alone. So he died. And Cliff, and Whistlewitz, I know you're in there. I know you're in there. I actually changed my last name to Inkslayer. Yeah, I know, a pseudonym you created for your publishing career. What can I do for you, Officer Ed? Officer Ed? Just Ed, short for editor. Listen, it's really not a good. I know all about what happened with your wife, Cliff. I lost my husband not too long ago, so I know what you're going through. Believe it or not, you and I have a lot in common, like fake names and dead spouses. It's like a love of reading and a passion for books. What can you tell me about this sword? What? You're a comic creator, right? Struggling comic creator, but you've worked on a variety of genres: science fiction, crime noir, superheroes. What kind of police officer did you say? Damn! Holy shit, this thing is real! I thought it was cosplay! Calm down, Cliff. Just tell me about this sword. Okay. Elven Forge, Falcon-shaped hilt, something from a fantasy novel, but not Lord of the Rings. Maybe something from the 90s. Good. Looks like Tannis sword from Dragonlance. Is it Wormsbane? Used in the Chaos Wars? Close enough. I took it off a dead elf on a planet of the Silver Nesty from a novel called Dragonblade. Never heard of it. That's because it never got published. It was a mediocre book, we tried to say, but the edit didn't go as planned. You know, most people freak out when they see something like this, something from another world. But not you. You've got a hell of a fancy life. That'll come in handy. Oh, there's a little preview there.
Huh. Yep.
And
Yo.
Yep.
Obscure enough. Not
Yep.
to be able to notice it the first time.
Yep. Who are you? I lead an elite team called the Plot Holes. Each member is a fictional character recruited from a different book. Our job is to jump into other books in order to save as many of them as we can by editing and publishing. What? You're living in a book, Cliff, a terrible book that we can't save. So if you don't want to be eliminated with the rest of your world, you'll have to come with me. What the hell? That's impossible! My action figures! Get behind me! Cliff, use the sword! I don't know how to use these things! I only know how to draw them! Holy shit, this way! What? Trust me. Relax, kiddo. I know what I'm doing. Welcome to the program, my new comrade. I am Roar, and we are the Plot Holes. So this is the new guy. This is Kevin, Johnny Manga, and Rasor. What the hell just happened? This beta male in Comic Nerd is Inkslayer? Tell me you grabbed the wrong guy, Ed. He shows potential. Helped me take on a Pugovian worm. Wait, one of those alien worms from the last mission? That's not possible. We're the only ones who can jump into other books. This one was also bigger, and it was glowing. Seriously, what the hell is going on? Try and relax, Cliff. Did you bring your anxiety med? How do you know I have anxiety? I read all about you. So all that stuff you told me was real? My whole life existed inside a book? That's right. Written by some pretentious, privileged hipster who refused to get a real job. Flip, you don't look so good. Good. Boom. I'll carry him to his quarters. Then I'll start dinner. Johnny, give me a hand with this dead worm. I need a drink. Are we sure this thing is dead? Looks dead to me. So how did it get into Cliff's book? Serge's powers were affected by an electrical spike when we docked with the space station. Then he was zapped by that alien, causing a second overload. But how would that transport a worm into another book? If this thing starts infecting other books, it'll bring the whole system down. Holy flip, this is bad. And inspect the footnote. See what you can find. And check in on Cliff. Show him around when he wakes up. Why me? He had a few Cowboy Bebop posters in the studio, so you should have a lot in common. I'll be in the library doing some research. Billy Jesse, wake up! Flip, you're awake. Oh my God. Am I still hallucinating? Relax, you're totally safe here. These are your new quarters. Believe it or not, you reacted better than I did. When Ed first told me the truth, I bleeped all over my high tops. No offense, but I'm hoping this is all just a screwed up hallucination. It's real, but in a different way. What's your name again? Johnny Manga. I'm guessing that's a nickname. Kevin likes to be an asshole, so he started calling me Johnny Manga one day, and the name sort of stuck. You're literally from a manga? From a futuristic world, protected by giant mechs called Robo-Blades. Like Gundam? Better than Gundam, because our mechs were powered by samurais driving JDM drift cars. I lived in a village at the base of the most famous Robo-Blade in the fleet, piloted by my master, the samurai, by my master, Silent Samurai Otomo. As his mechanic, it was my job to keep the Robo-Blade up and running in case of invasion. I went to get him when the battle broke out. That's when I found Otomo dead in his garden. I was the only one in the village who knew how to use the Robo-Blade, so it was up to me to defend my people. They tried to stop me, but Otomo had trained me too well in the ancient art of drifting. As I neared the Robo-Blade, I felt the samurai spirit of my master inside of me. This is for you and you, Master Otomo. Let's do this! But in the end, I failed. That's when Ed saves me. Robots powered by samurais, the ancient art of drifting? That's like every bad manga trope jammed into one. No wonder Ed didn't save your book. My village was destroyed in the battle. My parents died in the firestorm. My sister performed seppuku so that she wouldn't be taken as a sex slave. It's fiction to you, but it was real to me. To me, it was real. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. It's okay. I know this is all going to take some getting used to. Let me show you around the program. I think it'll help. I'm guessing we exist in some kind of digital matrix, part of some software used to edit books. Flip, you got it. The program was created to be a publishing hub for all the world's digital books. But when it launched, something went wrong. It started deleting books rather than publishing them. Ed created the plot hole as a stopgap measure to save the program, along with every unpublished book in its database. Each day we get a new set of submissions, books that appear on a shelf in the center of the library. Most of them are good to go, but a lot of them need fixing. It's up to Ed to make the hard decisions. Which ones we can fix? Tell me why I just tranked Paul Newman. The biographer made a mistake. Newman raced a dead son, not an Alfa Romeo. So we're switching them. And which ones can't? The Nazis shouldn't be in France until 1940. If a writer can't even get the dates right, I'm not sure whether any of this is worth saving. If we can't save it, can we at least have fun blowing up a few krauts? That's why failing an edit is so bad. It causes the meter to on. And the power meter I saw on the wall in the other room. That's our success rate? Correct. If it goes down to 0, the entire program will collapse. Not only will we die, but so will the unpublished books we could have saved. That's why failing in it is so bad. It causes the media to take a big hit, and we counteract that by publishing good books. Books? Exactly. Jesus, I see I may have another panic attack. How about some fresh air? You a car guy? Not really. I hate drawing cars. They're so damn hard. But a sci-fi nerd should know what a DeLorean is. Of course. Just try and keep it under 88. Right, we have a set of travel books set aside for when we need to relax. I'll just slide into one of the small computers we call a bookmark. Whoa, looks so real. That's because it is real. Not only to characters living here, but also to the readers. By readers, you mean the flesh and blood humans who read the books? Exactly. Haven't you ever loved the book so much that it felt real? We might not exist in the same way readers do, but in many ways, our world are just as important. Not only do we coexist with readers, we outlive them. I don't know. Think of it another way. Your wife died of cancer, right? How did that make you feel? Awful. I tried to save her, threw myself into my work, hoping to offset the medical bills. I wasn't even there when she died. I was at a stupid Comic-Con. And now you're telling me it was all fictional, that her cancer was a plot twist, and my depression was a story arc? But it was real to you, wasn't it? Of course. Of course. That's my point. That's why these books are worth saving. You're still you, Cliff. Not much different than a reader. Each morning, you're going to get up and do exactly what a reader does. Roll out of bed, deal with life's struggle, and try to find a way to give meaning to your existence. And what happens if the program collapses and we get deleted? What happens after we die? I don't know. What happens when a reader dies? Good point. Manga, where were you? Using one of the travel books. Why? Quick, publish it. What happened? I found the alien bookworm. In which book? It went through the entire bookshelf. We lost a dozen novels. We're down to 5%? Can't we just jump in and fix them? It's too late. They all got published and the advanced reviews destroyed the sales. If we can't save the next set of books, the meter will go down to 0. Then it's all over. So how was that for the start?
Well, a lot of exposition, but also some kind of characterization. And a lot to juggle for the first story also.
But we get a lot established, and it's a case where he's using stereotypes, type characters to make it, to at least give us this until, a general idea until he can expand their characters more. That is not a bad thing.
Yeah, no, it's not a bad thing. It's something that you actually recognize when it's happening.
Yeah, because of the case where sometimes stereotypes can be a good thing for a starting point. And yet they still give us enough details here and there. Like, for example, Kevin, clearly a Calvin and Hobbes, but what if it was made in the 30s? You know what I mean? Johnny Manga, I like that. Like, he is such a cliche.
Yeah, I think that it would be Link or Jack.
What?
Looked both.
Yeah, he looks like both. But at the same time, though, but what I like though best is even if they're from cliches, that doesn't mean they can't be characters with depths. Right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the one thing I love best about it. I want you to promise me something for after I'm gone. You can't start talking that way. You're going to get better. No, I won't. Promise me you'll keep writing and drawing. Don't give up on your comics. I should have quit a long time ago. We made this decision together, remember? I wanted you to pursue your dream. You married a loser, and it cost you everything. You are not a loser. Don't waste this opportunity, Cliff. Prove me right. Do it for the both of us. Wake up, Flip. Time for your first edit. If we're digital beings that have a program, then why do we even need sleep? Because we're written to need sleep. But are we written to dream? I just spent all night assessing the damage, and so far the worm has infected 6 books. Sounds like a hoot. These won't be normal edits. This will be a hunt. Our goal is to destroy our bookworm before it can start affecting the plots. After we kill it, we'll do our best to clean up the damage. Then we'll get the meter back up, and by saving as many books as we can. Jesus Christ, we're all going to die. We'll start with an easy one so Cliff can get his feet wet. A travel book in the Caribbean. Here, but I never shot a gun. Yesterday you used the sword. You're more incapable than you think. You got this, Flip. We just gotta have some backbone. Nah, I'm with Cliff on this one. He sucks. Kevin, you're not helping. What was her name again, Razor? Razor La Rocheur. It's French for razor. She's a vampire from a pirate novel. Only broad I ever met who looks forward to her time of the month. The village is just around and that ridge. Stay alert. You're a barbarian, Tiger, and a shapeshifter, a gift from the gods of the moonstorm. Wish I could do that. Maybe transform into something useful. Surely your gods have gifted you some special abilities. Only the ability to make books about grown men punching each other in their underwear. Quiet. I smell smoke. God damn it. So much for this being an easy edit for the new guy. I think this book is screwed. It's not too late. Some of them are still alive. Shit, let's try the next one. Wait, we're just giving up? Have ever read a travel book where most of the villagers get killed by a freaky space worm? No, exactly. So that book is gone, along with all those innocent people? I'm afraid so. I gotta say, I realized there's a lot of Kingdom Heartness to this.
That kind of the first Kingdom Hearts, but also actually the Otchettes starting story in Octopath Traveler.
I just realized this is kind of like your whole thing about the plot. This is a case where both characters move the story and the story is moving the characters combined. When you really think about it, right? Like there's a plot trying to move it, but the characters are trying to move themselves.
Yeah, that's sure. Okay, I can imagine. Sean Gordon Murphy is a good writer when it comes to actually managing to juggle that aspect.
Yep. But, you can already tell from right here that's basically what's going on. The plot is moving, but the characters are trying to grab onto the plot. You don't get that often, do you?
Yeah. Also kind of wonder how much he was enjoying drawing all of this.
And again, I love how he captures the different styles, but still keep it his own. Like, would you agree with that? Like, again, Johnny and Kevin are the best examples.
Oh.
And can't we help the survivors and erase their memories or something? Sorry, my young friend, but it doesn't work that way. And the more time we waste, the more likely that other books will be affected. Here, next book takes place in 1776, during the American Revolution. How can you be so cold? I mean, we just entered it. We just let an entire world get eliminated. We care very deeply, my young friend. But now isn't the time to mourn. Are we already too late? I can't see anything. It's nighttime in 1776, genius. We're flying over Brooklyn. Washington and his troops are gathered to the north, and the British are holding in the south. Put the footnote down in the forest, Johnny, south of the farms, where we won't be detected. And we won't be detected. You got it, Flip. Yep. Why do you keep saying Flip? Because he's annoying. It's Roboblade slang. We say flip because we believe in looking at things from both sides, like flipping things over. This is beautiful. Reminds me of the trees of my kingdom. They stretch beyond the heavens. And you're from a fantasy novel? That's correct. I was royalty, the king's oldest son. My father asked me to marry the princess of a neighboring tribe, hoping it would bring peace to the land. I did as he asked, for the good of the kingdom. But I couldn't hide who I really was. And eventually my father discovered the truth about me. It was the ultimate irony. I was the proud member of a shape-shifting species, yet I couldn't transform into the one thing my father wanted. He was gay, in other words. He was so ashamed that he banished me from both kingdoms. I prayed for the gods for forgiveness, but they ignored me. That's when I decided to take my own life. My suicide was to be my brother's call to action. He would have become the hero of the book by bringing change to our kingdom. But rather than let me die, Ed showed me how valuable I was by bringing me onto the team, and the plot continued without me. Having a gay character commit suicide to motivate a straight character? I'm a shitty writer, and even I know that's in poor taste. I thought my brother hated what I was. Turns out he loved me more than I ever imagined. Again, calling out the cliches, but then saying how it's a cliche to you, but for them, it's real. That's a good way of looking at it.
Yes, it is. And it kind of also how he said it. It's like like saying it without saying it before when it was called out, that was really spelled out. But this is again like holding it back enough in illustrating and showing it without saying it out loud.
But that's with the case where also he's not exactly right to be saying this is like, yes, it's in poor taste, but clearly well written. But you know, there's still people saying, "Oh, this is bad." But it's one of those cases where, again, it's like something well written, but then you realize, wait a second. And what about Kevin? What's his deal? Kevin was the title of a 1930s comic strip featuring a young boy and his pet polar bear. Kevin was beloved by all, transporting readers to a magical childhood filled with vast snowscapes and crackling fireplaces. Newspapers in World War II were very dark, but Kevin reminded readers of the importance of love, friendship, and imagination. But the creator of the strip was a xenophobe, unhappy with her success. One day, she ended the strip and disappeared. Before her death, she released a new book featuring Kevin. It was an unreadable mess. Not only did she kill off his beloved polar bear, but she turned Kevin into nothing more than a mouthpiece for her anger and fear. The book would have destroyed the legacy of the strip, so Ed stepped in to save him from destruction. Wow! That's another good idea. A creator having a breakdown and tainting their work. Again, he's going beyond these things. Like, again, you had Johnny being a cliche, but things being well done. You have, and all that. It's just, you know what I'm saying, right?
Yes, I see it. Not only he also calls out pretty well those artists and writers who use these kinds of methods.
Yeah, exactly.
Like in Kevin's case.
Kevin could be a real asshole, but believe it or not, he's come a long way. I can see why he's really close with you. You can? Sure. You're his new furry friend. You obviously remind him of his lost teddy bear. Never thought of that. What's Ed's backstory? Grandma gunslinger from the 1970s? Who knows? The old bag's a mystery. I'm going to camp to check on Washington. If there's any word of strange disturbances, get out there, and it'll get reported to him. The rest of you split up and check the outer flanks. What the hell? And wait, where the hell is Erasor? Or there's something behind in those trees. The bookworm? Halt! No sudden moves. God damn it. Shink! Why did you do that? If we were captured, it would have affected the entire plot. Now, by killing people, sometimes editing means removing characters. What? That's why we have villains like Racor and Surge on the team, because they don't mind. Who's Surge? He was the most powerful member of the team, and he wasn't a villain. He was just misunderstood. Now, here's something else I'm going to make this clear to you. Ed's way is wrong. We're going to realize that later. Ed has a good heart, but her way is wrong because she thinks it's the best way, but her view is limited.
It's kind of the easy way.
Well, I wouldn't even say it's the easy way. She feels it's the by all means necessary way that she can't see alternatives.
Yeah. So it's the easy way as, okay, not even bothering to look at the others. And, okay, this is the easiest way to get it done.
Well, they think it's the only way.
That wasn't a villain. He misunderstood. Yeah. Every villain is the hero of their own story and don't see themselves as.
Well, that's the way. Look, she's looking at them as stereotypes. Like, you're a villain, so you do the killing so we don't have to, because we can't do it to our conscience, or we have to kill them because there's no other alternative. So again, she's wrong, but you get why she's thinking this way. Because it does feel like it's the only way. It does feel like it's the only way.
Yeah. It's also the only way after you have skipped all the other ways and do that.
Right. Or the other ways you think are too risky until you have no other choice but to do it. He was the most powerful plot hole, and he still got killed, and I'm his replacement? Roar, hide these bodies. The rest of you, spread out and find the bookworm. Cliff, you're with me. I think I'm going to have another panic attack. There's no time for that. Get your shit together. I like Ed. Again, I like all these characters.
I can recognize the appeal and the chemistry that they have together. Alone, they probably would have difficulties to settle up, but they put them together. There's the chemistry works. It's magic.
And you plucked them out of the work that would have held them back. Or in Roar's case, would have ended him too soon. No, I need to stop. Cliff, if I didn't ask to be part of this, I lost everything. And now you're asking me to be something I'm not? You'd be dead if I'd left you behind. Good! At least I'd be with my wife! I'm sorry. I've been doing this for too long. Sometimes I forget how strange this all is. Everyone knows I shouldn't be here, Ed. I'm no replacement for the guy you lost. Why the hell did you recruit me? I write and draw heroes. I don't know how to be one. I have my reasons. How can the characters in these books be real and fiction at the same time? And who are we to decide their fate? Come on, let me show you something. I grew up in Brooklyn. Always wondered what it was like during the Revolutionary War. There was a building in my neighborhood that was around during the old Battle of Brooklyn, the old stone house. Every time I walked by on my way to school, I got chills. Imagine living near a house that George Washington would recognize. Sometimes I sneak out and find all the other landmarks he'd know, the old tree in Prospect Park and the rolling meadows of Greenwood Cemetery. Back in the real world, I used to love editing books like these. Back in the real world? What does that mean? This book, again, there's more to her than we know. This book is important because it talks about his inner conflict, not only about the hypocrisy of a slave owner wanting freedom from tyranny, but about how much he doubted his ability to lead. America's first great general and the father of our country doubted himself. He was wanted for treason. As was leading an army of farmers, tradesmen, and drunks against the most powerful military in the world. And the Battle of Brooklyn was a disaster. If it wasn't for the heavy fog that allowed his troop to retreat in the middle of the night, there'd be no such thing as U.S. history. So, how do you know he doubted himself? The writer of this book discovered old letters that had never been found, ones that Washington wrote to his wife. Over there, he's writing one now. Wow, being a plot hole isn't easy. But moments like this make it all worthwhile. It'd be a huge loss if this book didn't get published. People need to know that even their greatest heroes were flawed and often filled with doubt. You understand what I'm getting at? Are we talking about the book or about me? And, sir, there's something in the forest, a few hundred meters past the southern line. British are advancing at night, or is it the Heath and Hessians? And it's not a man. It's some sort of spirit floating in the sky near the cemetery. Corporal, I think you've been drinking. Come on, we got to move. Johnny, come in. Check the cemetery to the south. The cemetery? We just passed it. Brrr! Roar, you smell something? Over there, towards the river. Tee! And get out of my way. I'm trying to shoot it. You're too close. You don't want it to grab you. Kevin, bring the footnote to our location. Blow this thing out of the sky. Won't the troop soldiers see me? Stay below the tree line. Ugh! I wasn't ready for this. No, don't shoot. I don't have a shot. The idiot's in the way. Hey, whoosh. Good job, new guy. Way to pull your weight. I asked you to stay back. I've never done this before. Shit. So we could still save the book? No, we can't. Why not? Because we've been spotted. I'm so sorry. Oh, because they tainted the book. Because now they've been too deep in the story, it can't be saved. No one's going to take it seriously now.
Oof.
I'm sorry, Ed. Sorry, everyone. Boom. Can't we go back and try again? It doesn't work that way. Anyone got the receipt on Cliff? Because I think we need a refund. It was his first day. Leave him alone. He doesn't even understand what we're doing here. Perhaps he's beginning to understand. Yes, I get it now. And I can see why this is so important to Ed. It makes her feel alive, like she's a real-world editor again. Hold up! A real-world editor? She told you that? And sure, that's why the book affected her so much. Growing up that part of Brooklyn, falling in love with history. You guys never heard that? You mean she grew up in a book about Brooklyn, or she grew up in the actual Brooklyn? She couldn't have been real. If she's now in a program, that's impossible. Guys, I don't know. I asked her what she meant about the real world, and she gave me this weird look. So I let it go. Perhaps there's more to Ed than we imagine. Why the hell is she telling this stuff to the new guy? I think you can see where this is going. The replacement bit. I have no idea. Why don't you just ask her? We tried asking about her past many times, but Ed's never revealed anything like that to any of us. Apparently she talks to you. Well, she's wasting her time dealing with me. Oh, there's Surge. Wrong. Bring your fists back and behind your shoulders before releasing, and keep your fingers tight. Gah! Please don't kill me. Please don't drink my blood. I'm trying to teach you something, but if you don't want to learn, wait, I'm sorry. I've never met a villain before. I don't really know how to act. You're not the only one. Relax, I'm not going to hurt you. Join me in the break room. When I used to edit my scripts, it meant trimming dialogue, reworking characters, simple stuff like that. And removing characters was as simple as using the delete button. But doing it manually, I just wasn't prepared for that. I mean, you probably enjoyed it, so I'm a killer, but only because I was written that way. No one said I enjoyed it. You don't enjoy it? Thanks. Serge and I could cope with the burden. They can't. Someone who has to do the dirty work, or else those books might not be saved. That's actually sort of noble. That's the thing about compelling villains. We're complicated. I can see why Ed picked you. You can? Mind filling me in? Wait, this book has illustrations? Many of them do. But isn't that the bookworm? The edit failed. It's not surprising the illustrations have changed. Look close and closer. It was moving so fast that we couldn't see its face. Serge? He's still alive? Again. Wow, right?
Some cliffhanger. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yes, I stole the Omega device, but it's not what you think. Hand it over, Serge, or face the wrath of the Righteous Legion. You're not listening. I'm not using the Omega as a weapon. I need it to heal. Nice try. But why should we believe the lies of our greatest enemy? Supervillain scumbag. I never meant to be your biggest enemy. If you just listen, sorry, I can't hear you over the sound of my blastovision. If you're not going to listen, then you leave me no choice. Roar! It's too late, Captain Credo. If only you'd given me a chance. No, you killed him. He never saw me as anything other than a supervillain. And you just killed a superhero. Of course you're a villain. I was only using my power to try and save my daughter. She's been suffering from a rare disease for years. I put her in electrostasis to slow her metabolism, hoping it would give me a time to find a cure. See Righteous Legion number 5. Oh my God. I couldn't afford the equipment or the medicine I needed, so I had to steal them. You killed dozens of people to get what you want. Things got out of hand when the Righteous Legion tried to interfere. I never meant to hurt anyone. They were innocent people. Their blood is on your hand. It's on both our hands. It's not working. Listen to me. You're right. This whole thing got out of hand. If we'd known about your daughter, then we would have tried to help. You don't want to help me. You just want to stop me. Goodbye, Dark Defender. No! Serge? Yeah. It feels like
it has a point there that interfered, and you know how many times you play like games that have a stealth as an option, and then when the stealth fails, and you basically are forced to start fighting.
It doesn't fail the mission. You could just fight your way through it.
Yeah, I have been playing Cyberpunk recently. Since I managed to upgrade the RAM on my PC, it runs better now, but the mirror doesn't work. It's still kind of blurry, but that still works. And I take this that always when using stealth, use the non-lethal option when taking everyone out, and then when it gets spotted, time to start. Let the blade sing, or blades or guns like. Carry one of you basically get to carry a proper katana in it, and I just found a very powerful sniper but only save those for kill or be killed situations.
Exactly. But Serge, who are you? Someone who can help you. Aren't you a little old to be part of the Righteous League? I'm from a different group called the Plot Holes, and you can help save my daughter? I'm sorry, but no one can. She's going to die very soon. You don't know that. I do. It's right here in issue 6. What is this? It's the truth. I know it's hard to believe, but you're living in a comic book, and like your daughter, it can't be saved. Think about it. The cheesy dialogue, the outfits, the gratuitous action scenes. How many times have you seen characters and come back to life? They're both dead. I made sure of it this time. Nope, they come back in a later issue. What? You're kidding me. You can't save your daughter. but you can still save yourself. If you want a chance of redemption, then come with me. That explains this whole, who's going to care about this if these heroes are going to be so, like, a twine attack, even a guy with sympathetic reasons. Right?
Yeah. Also, died kind of easily.
That too. I always said recruiting villains was a bad idea. They can never be trusted. Nonsense. Razor has been a valuable member of the team for quite some time. She was written as a murderous vampire assassin. Only reason she hasn't killed one of us is because we feed her a steady diet of victims. Say that again, twerp. Can a character change regardless of how they were written? The way we're written is the way we are. Search proved this. But you were written to be a racist, curmudgeonly xenophobe. And now you're with a diverse team of misfits. And your best friend is a gay tiger. If Kevin can become less of an asshole, then maybe villains can change into heroes. Whatever. I still think this is on Ed. She recruited him. Surge was the perfect fit. His electrical powers meant he could remove multiple characters at once. Thought I could trust him, but now he's left us no choice but to kill him. What about all he's done for you? He saved our asses multiple times and never complained about your orders. You owe him. You two were close. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even be a plot hole. I was born on a plantation near New Orleans, the illegitimate daughter of a wealthy French countess and her favorite slave. To keep me close, my mother taught me to entertain her husband's gluttonous hanger-ons. He was a cruel, hateful man, and it was imperative he never discover my true identity. But discover it he did. The sound of my dying mother's screams echoed in my ears as I fled for my life. I ran until I saw the sea. I fled on the next ship as a stowaway, until soon I discovered the only place that would accept a half-free like me, the port of Nassau. I gave the pirates my body. In return, they gave me the skills to get the one thing I desired, vengeance. It was one mysterious gentleman who gave me something more. A frequent patron of mine, he came only at night, always draped in shadow. His piercing gaze chilled me like a ocean gull. I soothed him with music and shared my deepest secrets and most violent desires. Rather than condemn me, he offered me a gift of power and a gift of blood. The Count's annual birthday gala was there and was where I would take my revenge. I decorated the walls of his great hall with buckets of blood, anxiously awaiting his arrival. I had just drained the last drop out of the Count's youngest daughter when Serge came to me. He said he knew my pain, knew my anger, knew I would never stop until I had my revenge, but also that my success would mean the end of my world, which is why he was sent to edit me. But he saw much of himself in me. Basically, in other words, the writer created a villain that was too good.
And powerful.
And powerful, but also too sympathetic. But he saw much of himself in me, sentenced to a life of cruelty and violence because of worlds someone else had written on a page. And if there was no hope for me, how could there be hope for him? He offered me what Ed had offered him, a chance to write my own story. It sounds like it's like you said, the best villains are complicated. What do you think made him turn? It wasn't just a technical glitch that turned Serge against us. It was Ed. Excuse me? Ed only ever saw him as a villain, and she used him so the rest of you could have a clean conscience. He never got to write his own story. He was still being forced into someone else's narrative. I'm not going to listen to this. Maybe she has a point, Ed. I mean, we appreciate that you saved our lives and offered us a chance to grow beyond our backstories, but being a plot hole is also a burden, a difficult, thankless, never-ending job where the fate of infinite lives and worlds rests in our hands. And we all signed on without knowing what it really meant. You're right, Cleft. I am. You're right that bringing you here was a mistake. You made your living creating heroes with stories with heroic characters. So I assumed you know all about bravery, sacrifice, and strength. But you didn't create those characters because you understood them. It was just wish fulfillment, preparing to be something you weren't. You're right. This team doesn't need a comic creator. It needs a therapist. Thank you. That's the first time anyone's ever stood up for me. And please accept my sincere apologies, Razor. I never realized the burden you and Serge must have felt. Thanks. Kevin also offers his deepest apologies. We're very thankful to have you on our team, aren't we, Kevin? Well, it's nice to have some skirt to look at without you. It really would Without you, it would be a real sausage fest around here. If anyone needs me, I'll be getting drunk in the break room. You coming, new guy? Thanks, but maybe later. What's your story, Ed? And what are you hiding? What are you doing here, darling? I thought you were busy with work today. Steven, don't you have a ton of books to edit? Steven, I'm so sorry. For what? I shouldn't have been so focused on my career. I got so caught up in the world of fiction that I forgot what was real. It's okay. At this point, I'm used to it. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. I have something to show you. It's pretty neat. One day I might even sell it to Amazon. You created the artificial intelligence editing system, a program that will automatically edit books for me. That way we can spend more time together. How did you know? It's a long story. I thought you'd be happy. God damn it! Synthwave. Hiding in a warehouse on the west side. What's your plan, Serge? Why aren't you tearing this book apart? I'm guessing that you want to talk? Very Blade Runner or Cyberpunk-esque.
Yes.
Serge? What the hell's going on, Ed? If we're in a book, then how is that guy your husband? Because my husband wrote this book. What? The AIE system is the program. It's where the plot holes and all these books exist. My husband is the engineer who created it. And this is the operating manual. I don't understand. I wasn't always in here. I used to live out there in the real world. But I died. A few days later, the AIE system was launched. And somehow I woke up inside of it. How's that possible? I'm not really sure. My husband designed the algorithm based on my personality. It edits books exactly the way I would. So the editing software is you? Now it's all of us. It's the plot holes. Your real name is Autumn Meadows. Jesus, and I thought my name was bad. You're the only one who knows all this. Why haven't you told the others? Guilt. I feel bad enough for dragging them all into this. Imagine how resentful they'd be if they knew the whole truth, that the entire program exists because of me. Seems like it's a little too late to avoid resentment. I was so happy when this book hit the shelf. It meant I could spend the rest of my life with Steven, retired here in the pages of this book. Let the potholes go on without me. But with the program in jeopardy, you had no choice but to come here looking for answers. Search is basically a computer virus. I was hoping Steven would know another way we could eliminate him. But we can't change the program from the inside. And we can't go after Serge because he'll just keep jumping from book to book. There's no way to stop that many characters from being exposed to him. What if we found a loophole? What do you mean? We have a ton of weapons, costumes, and gadgets we stole from other books. Why can't we steal something that will allow us to make characters forget they ever saw us? Like that thing from Men in Black, the standard intro neuralizer. Wow, looks like I'm not the only nerd here. No book in the library has ever contained anything like that. We've looked. Okay, but what if we build our own neuralizer? And manga is a super Gundam mechanic, or whatever. Maybe he'll be able to wire something together. Let's get back to the library and look for things we can use. You could just stay here. I'm sure the rest of us could. No, I won't leave you all behind to deal with my mistake. Don't you want to at least say goodbye? We said the goodbyes 100 times when I had cancer. I can't go through it again. I know you can relate to that. Serge, listen to me. I know you're still in there. Something's happened to you. Your body fused with another creature, and it's caused you to go berserk. But I can help you. You don't want to help me. You just want to stand in my way. No, I want to save you. If there's some way we can separate you, you can separate from the bookworm. You want to save me? Then you'll have to kill me. Kill you? It's the only way to stop the pain. The pain? The grief for letting my daughter die alone. Check the shelf and see what you can find. There's one missing. What? Why would one be missing? Someone must have gone inside. Who? We can access the missing books with a computer. Something's wrong. Ed, what the hell's going on? It's Racer. She went in to find Serge. Ed lies to us. There's no redemption here. Only more suffering. You're right. Ed never gave you a chance. She never gave one to either of us. But isn't the way to fix it. She turned me into a monster. Someone my daughter would even recognize. No, the bookworm turned you into a monster. You're not the villain anymore. You need to separate before your mind's completely overtaken. This is the end of my story. This is my fate. This is what Ed has done to me. She's not a villain either, Serge. Ed's just trying to save lives. You know this. I don't want to be saved. Kill me! No, please. It's the only way to end my suffering. I won't do it. Fine. If you won't kill me, then I'll do it myself. I'll end it all. I'll destroy the entire program. So suicide.
Yeah.
Even it means, I mean, again, cliches, but works. I must destroy the program. It's the only way to stop Ed and end the suffering. But that's genocide. You'll destroy an infinite number of worlds. Everything will be gone, including the story of you and your daughter. You need to forgive yourself. You never had control of your fate. You were following Ed's orders. Even now, you're still being manipulated by a Kokovian space worm. If you're separated, maybe you can regain control. Things don't have to go back to the way they were. We can find new ways to serve the plot holes. We don't have to be the bad guys anymore. But we still won't be free. We'll still be slaves, forced to comply with someone else's narrative. Serge, please don't. Let me save you. I'm sorry, Razor, but I didn't save you. I just moved you into another bad novel. Whoosh. I can't believe you went in after him. You put all our lives at risk because of what? Some bullshit honor among thieves? He was reaching out to me. Serge is gone, Razor. Forget about whatever you think you owe him. What are you doing? Publishing the book. Holy shit, you managed to save it. Do you know why Serge didn't wreak havoc on this book? Do you know why he didn't kill me when he had the chance? He literally just said he was going to destroy the entire program with you along with it. Oh, no, sorry, because part of him is trying to fight back. I think we can still save him. He literally just said he was going to destroy the entire program, you along with it. We can't take that kind of chance. What do you have in mind? He was able to separate himself from the bookworm. If he does it again, maybe we could sever that link, and we don't have time for any of that. And I won't risk everything on Razor's hunch. Our only option is to do a full sweep, enter the bookshelf at one end and chase him through to the other. And once we have him cornered him, we kill him. You owe him another chance, Ed. I never asked for anything. Let's try and try it my way. If it doesn't work, I'll kill him myself. There's no way to confront Serge without being seen. We aren't going to, and how are we going to chase him down without ruining the books? Cliff has a solution for that. It's more like a last-ditch effort. Go ahead, tell him your idea. We went through the infected books looking for brain neuralizers, cloaking devices, and magic spells. Anything that might allow us to fight Serge without compromising the plots. And I think I found a solution. If we built a ray gun that could safely beam eyewitnesses to a holding chamber outside of their books, and once Serge is defeated, we simply place those characters into a new book, saving their lives. What do you mean by build one? The first one we need is a transporter gun out of a science fiction novel called Digicops. Sounds like a shitty swipe of RoboCop. The police use them to beam the faulty programs out of evil robots. The second item we need is a magic orb from a Robin Hood novel. This will be act as the holding chamber. Since when is there magic in Robin Hood? I know, it's a terrible idea. The writer threw it in, so stealing it would actually make the book better. The last item is an accelerator chip from a book called Type 2, The Future Tech of Humanity. The chip will have more than enough juice to power the gun and the chamber. Impressive work, my young friend. I've got a good grasp of multi-genre philosophy, a term I invented years ago for a comic that mixed different genres into the same plot. I called it the Story Bros. Failed miserably. Well, how do we know this plan won't fail miserably? Those objects are from totally different worlds. Serge merging with the worm proves that things from different books can interact with each other. We'll just have to stay close so we don't lose track of him. By staying in his wake, we'll be able to follow him into other novels without using the bookworm. I'm in. Are you sure you're up for this, my young friend? It's going to be dangerous. I'll make sure nothing happens to him. Thanks, guys. This really means a lot. Jesus Christ, are you about to cry? If there's some lame feel-good moment in the plot where you actually feel accepted or something? No. Leave him alone, Kevin. Doesn't it make you nervous that this impossible plan resists on the trembling shoulders of the guy who called himself Inkslayer? Cliff is giving us a chance, Without this ray gun, there'll be no way to save those books. If he says he can do it, then I believe him. We split into 2 teams. Roar and Kevin, you're with me. Our goal will be to distract Serge and try to keep him from jumping into other books. Cliff, take Manga and Razor and grab the items you need. Once you have it assembled, find us as quickly as possible. We'll use the footnote to really turn up the pressure. While the rest of us are fighting Serge, Cliff will use the ray gun and to capture as many witnesses as he can, allowing us to save each book. If we do enough damage to the worm, it should force Serge to separate. Let's try to give Razor a few moments to reason with him. And if it doesn't work, we kill him. Understood? Well done, Cliff. You figured out that being a plot hole isn't about being a warrior. It's about being creative. It's about reading, learning, and adapting. Cliff Inkslayer is a plot hole, just like the rest of us. Inkslayer, it just never gets old. One more thing. In case we don't make it, there's something I need to tell you. I wasn't always a part of the program. I used to be alive. I was an editor in the real world. The entire program, the technology that contains the library and the system that delivers the book, it was all created by my husband. It was supposed to be a gift. He wanted to ease my workload so we could both retire. But I was obsessed with publishing. I wouldn't let anything distract me, not even cancer. And I lost track of what was real and what was fictional. And by the time I realized it, our marriage had fallen apart. Then I died. Somehow woke up in here. Saving the program wasn't just about the books. It was about keeping him alive. I was obsessive and ended up making the same mistakes again. I lost track of what was real. All of you. I'm sorry I misled you. I never meant to downplay the sacrifices you'd have to make. So before we continue, there's something important that we all need to decide. Do we want to save the program at all? Even before Ed recruited me, my world was already destroyed, ravaged by the saga of the Roboblade. I wasn't able to save my own world. By being here, at least I could save others. When Serge recruited me, he said the plot holes offer salvation, a chance for villains like us to find redemption. And he was right. I was never asked to be a slave, a vampire, or an assassin, but I was asked to be a plot hole. And I don't regret saying yes. When I left my kingdom, I asked the gods to save me, and they did. I was destined to be here, and I have faith in what we're doing. So now it's my turn to be sappy, huh? Look, I know I'm a miserable jerk, and the stuff I said about characters not being able to change, I didn't mean it. I don't know if my pet polar bear was real or a figment of my imagination. All I know is that I don't want to be alone. And thanks to you weirdos, I'm not. Truth is stranger than fiction. Lately, that phrase has taken on a whole new meaning. My wife wouldn't have wanted me to give up. I think she'd be proud to see me finally doing something I'm good at. Where are we? The Sand of Doom Desert, a horror novel. Starting off in a horror novel. Oh, for Christ's sakes, and for Christ's sakes, Ed, it's mostly set in a desert, so there won't be many witnesses, and we'll have plenty of room to deal with Serge. He's inside that cave up ahead. Great, let's go kick some ass! If we hold back, maybe Serge will stay in one place. Or maybe not. Sherwood Forest, den of criminals. The merry men were a bunch of peasants who were usually drunk. I'm sure we'll be fine. Unless it's the other kind of Robin Hood, the one who's darker and more militant. According to the bookmark, the staff is up ahead. Halt! These guys don't look too merry, Flip. And Mary, Flip. Great. State your business, sir, for it is I, Robin Hood. What brings you to Sherwood? What brings you to the realm of the Prince of Thieves? Well, he seems kind of merry. Jesus, he's more like a mix of all the worst parts of Robin Hood. Gah, what the devil has turned and has happened to this man's eye? You're gonna get his kill. Put that away. At last, the legendary Robin Hood. His eyes have been cursed by the sheriff's witch for killing a deer on the king's land. We seek your wizard, praying he might undo this ungodly spell. I've never heard of such a spell. Tell me what words were spoken when she unleashed the spell. Pokemon anime hentai. Really? Really? Got it. Jesus, it's gotten huge. We should have brought bigger guns. And you should have left the sword at home, Roar. The sword is from my ancestors. The holy shamans of... Yeah. Can't you just turn into a dragon or something useful? Dragons don't exist in this novel, Kevin. What the hell does exist in this novel? Well done. I think you saved that book. just so you know, Pokemon anime hentai was a little racist. And Kevin would have loved that. Exactly my point. Where can we find a police vehicle? Who are those guys? The law. I recognize them in any genre. The authorities are always the same, corrupted by money, drugs, and prostitution. Leave this to me. Wait, Razor, that won't work. It won't. Not when the cops are robots. Flip, what do we do? Can you cut down the streetlights? Gentlemen, it's a late night, and it's awfully cold. There must be something I can. Scatting. 92.3 probability of illegal sex worker being begin arrest protocol. Attention, solicitous street worker. Get in onto the ground with your hands behind your head. God damn it! In my defense, that approach normally works. Maybe if you were a sexy fax machine. Hurry, the plot is changing and more cops are headed this way. I have the rifle. Wow, that was a lot easier than Citizens, you are 99.2% surrounded. Drop your weapons and get onto the ground with your hands behind your head. Shit, get us out of here. You gotta go faster, Kevin. You should have brought manga. He's better for this kind of shit. My arms are barely long enough to reach the controls. In fact, why am I the one flying this thing? Doom! Flip, that was close. Last item, the accelerator chip. Great, more science fiction. Not a fan? I grew up hundreds of years before the computer screens and microprocessor. So this is all like voodoo to me. The chip is in the next room. You think you can disconnect it? The tech is simple compared to the Trigon 7 tank we owned. I don't know. This seems too easy. You think there'd be some kind of security system in place. God damn it! Flip, I disconnected the chip. All you gotta do is pull it out. I'm the idea guy, remember? Not the warrior. Stop being a pussy and grab it. I think I'm having another panic attack. Now is not the time, Cliff. Hold on. Action scenes are way less scarier when you're writing them. Guys, I got it. Did you see that? I'm totally a badass warrior like you. First rule of being a warrior, never stop to do a little dance. Is it broken? Fried. Shit! Maybe there's another one in the station or in a different chapter. This is the only one, and we can't build a ray gun without it. Cliff, come in. Do you have the equipment yet? My robot arm has a device that might help charge the ray gun's battery. Not as powerful, but it should hold last us a handful of books. Ed, we're almost finished. Where are you? We're still in the sand of Doom Desert, but we got a problem. Search destroyed the footnote. I have an idea. What is it? Just tell her we're on the way. Hurry! We have to lure him away from that village. This is as far as I can go. My legs are only 3 inches long. Hang on. There's no dragons in this novel, but in chapter 3, there are giant falcons. He's too fast. We won't catch on them. What the hell is that thing? Manga, you almost done? Almost. Try to keep it steady. Shit, a group of stray villagers. We've been spotted. All's finished, Cliff. Let's trade. It worked. Everyone get inside. He's about to jump. Any idea where the hell we're headed? Yep. And this is the final issue. A literal cliffhanger.
No.
Ed, you know which book we're in? Some novel about prohibition. Over here. We've been spotted. Damn it, I missed. Kevin, you take the ray gun and get idea. Razor, use the turret to keep the pressure on Surge. This thing is awesome. Way to go, Ink Slayer. He's jumping. Ed, what's the next book about? Vikings. Next is a romance novel about a woman lost in the jungle. And then a book about the pyramids. One was ninjas. And then a book about a clone of Jesus Christ who turns against the people who created him by leading a rebellion of punk rockers. God, this book sounds terrible. That's Punk Rock Jesus.
Huh.
A book he created. And finally, the latest edition of Moby Dick. Wait. Sorry. It goes next to romance about, then a graphic novel about some idiots off-roading, then a book about the pyramids, then a book about a London necromancer.
Huh.
Constantine.
That's one of those that as long as you don't name the character, you can still use the appearance. Not like how Alan Moore used James Bond in the second volume of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yep. A book about gay culture in 1970s New York. Hey, Roar would have loved this book. But yeah, Flip, we're losing Surge. That's Ahab's ship on the horizon. We can't let him see us. Ray gun's low on juice. Not sure how many shots I have left. He's coming around. Great. So this is how it ends. Dying from hypothermia in an overrated book about fish. Why couldn't we have chased him into an issue of Hustler? Kevin, that's brilliant. Ed, give me the bookmark. I have an idea. What the hell are you doing? I'm rearranging the books. What? Our plan isn't working. We're dead in the water and the ray gun is running out of power. So I'm changing the order of the books to give us an advantage. First, we need books where we can get better weapons. Like this one. Next, we'll line up with books without characters. That way we can fight Surge without needing the ray gun. What do you think? It's a little outside the box, but you're always saying, I'm impressed, Cliff. It's brilliant. Really? You know, you kept asking me why I recruited you, and I never really told you the answer. Truth is, I wasn't really looking for a recruit. I was looking for a replacement. You want me to take over the plot holes? But I could never do what you do. But my methods were becoming too much for the team to handle. The truth is that I created Surge. I could have avoided it, and it could have been avoided if I had handled things differently. And now we might lose everything. I never come up with a solution like this. You're innovating in ways I never even considered. You took 6 outcasts and brought them together again. I might have created the plot holes, but you made them a team. I thought you were going to say a family. That's a little on the nose. Trying to avoid cringy lines like that when you're editing. Ed, I don't know what to say. You might have been a shitty comic book creator, but you're a hell of an editor, Inkslayer. See what I mean here? She's realizing, yes, she got going, but her way was never going to last forever. It couldn't.
Yeah.
It's coming around again. Good, I'm freezing. Let's get this over with. Hey, Roar, ever read Moby Dick? Whosoever of ye raises me a white-headed whale. Yeah! Brilliant idea, Cliff. Yep, hanging around my best friend's mouse. Not gay at all. Whoosh! Think anyone noticed a massive white whale crashing through the Death Star? Only one shot left. So what now, Inkslayer? No, and those speeders are still armed with blasters, and they're fast enough to catch up with Surge. And Flip, nice one, Cliff. The next few books have no characters, so we won't need the ray gun. Great. Now we can focus on blowing his ass out of the sky. We need to do as much damage as possible, but without killing him. Okay, let him have it. Be careful. Come on, Surge. Don't make us do this. We gotta get closer. He's gonna jump again. Woom, woom, woom. He's not separating. Something's happening. Whoosh. We're back in the library. The program is collapsing. Cliff, publish the books. You're too late, Ed. I'm trying, but Surge is causing some kind of overload. Surge, don't do it. Now it's your turn to be edited. Ah! All right. What happened? Are we dead? The program is. Looks like you succeeded. Who are those people? Characters from the books we were in, frozen inside this chamber. You mean you're not eliminating them? Not anymore. You had no right to meddle in their lives. You don't know the pain you're causing. Says the man trying to commit genocide. You're right. I'm a monster, but you made me that way. Look at them, Surge, helplessly frozen in stasis. Remind you of anyone? Oh, no, it's not the same. We still have a chance to save them. You're still trying to control me. I'm sorry for what I did to you and Razor. I never gave you the chance to rewrite your own story. A lot of people died for your obsession. I know. And I know you can relate. I wish you had just left me alone. I'd have been happier in my ignorance, even without my daughter. It's your story now, Surge. You choose the ending. What do you mean? You're the only one who can save these people. Me? By using your energy to reboot the system, you can publish their books and save the program. But the program requires a massive amount of energy. I might not survive. I know. It's your choice. Take care of Razor. I might not be able to save the program, but she's the one who saved me. I know. And that makes you both heroes. Huh? Jesus, we're not dead yet? This is getting old. The meter's at 100%. The books are being published. Ed, what happened to Surge? Ed? Surge. He did it. Surge saved the program. Praise the gods of the Moonstorm. He's really gone? You were right about him, Razor. His last thoughts were of you. Ed, hang in there. Guys, help me find a book with a hospital in it. Cliff, it's all right. Here, take these. You're the editor now. What are you doing? Trust me. Yep. Believe it or not, the program used to be a lot smaller, and it was powered by a meter that would replenish whenever we successfully published new books. And what happened when if the meter ran out? The entire program would cease to exist. It almost happened once. If it wasn't for the sacrifice of a plot hole named Surge, we all would have died. He was able to reconfigure the program in ways that eliminated the meter. And now we're able to expand and find new recruits. Sounds like a hero. Come meet the rest of the team. This is Razor, Johnny Manga, Roar, and Kevin. Hello, my new friend. I see Ink Slayer's giving the grand tour, and these are the new recruits. Revna and Crom, Diego, and Flork. Diego teasing for Zorro. We didn't realize until now.
Yeah, could it be that Zorro or some?
No, it is that Zorro. It is that Zorro. Oh yeah. Are those our uniforms? We recently acquired these invisibility suits. Check it out, Flip. By the gods, it revolutionized our approach, allowing us to remain completely undetected during the edits. And let's get everyone suited up before lunch. Later, we'll show you to your quarters. Likes, feels good, nice and tight. If it doesn't fit correctly, I could always take it in. And Jesus, get a room, you two. What's up? New submission just came into the library. Anything interesting? Holy shit. Oh my God. Flip, you okay? Yeah, you look a little more pasty than usual. What's the book? It's about us, the new version of the artificial intelligence editing software, the AIE 2.0. Truly, the gods smiled upon us with this amazing gift. Who's the author? And Ed's husband. In the back, it talks about his life with her and how devastated he was by her death. He designed the program as a way to keep her spirit to live on. Are you crying? Look how soft you pansy that made me. I guess there's really only one edit we need to make. Honey, what are you doing here? I thought you had a bunch of books you needed to. I'm done editing, Steven. What, the notorious Autumn Meadows is retiring? I can't believe her real name is Autumn. What a hippie. To me, she'll always be Ed. This is wonderful. I guess there's no more sense in me developing the AIE software. No, I think you should finish it. I'll even help you. Really? You've always hated the idea. You said it would put editors out of work. Something tells me there will always be real editors out there, one way or another. I love you, Autumn. Damn right you do. Well, I don't know. I think this editing is a little bit kind of a trope. Characters all find happiness as the sun sets behind them. I think it's perfect. Glad the old broad finally got what she wanted. I think it's romantic. I agree. What should we read next? So, I would say this is a 10 out of 10.
You.
This, clearly he reworked it enough times to get it to perfection.
Obviously. This was something that must have gone through draft after draft after draft, and then other things.
Or working on it behind the scenes for a year before he finally felt comfortable to create it.
Yeah.
Because this, I have no flaws. I mean, anything that could be a flaw is part of the story.
Yeah.
How many books do you see? And you see what I mean?
That takes talent.
See what I meant? What I say here? This is both the characters and the plot moving the stories.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Like the plot is trying to fight it, and the characters are like, "You ain't letting us do that." Is that one way of looking at it?
Yeah. It's once in a lifetime maybe you can come across a narrative like that, or maybe more often, but not very often.
Yep. And here's concept art for the characters. Who is your favorite character?
Hard.
I say Ed still. I liked Ed the most.
Well, he was the most compelling and pushing it forward, and Cliff was mostly the audience surrogate.
The audience surrogate, but he's the Will Smith if you go by Men in Black, and she's the Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
Yep. I really liked Roar. and look at this. This was made out of cardboard. For a moment, does it look like it? Barely.
Oh.
Look at that there. You would not think that was cardboard.
No.
Oh, just look at all these. Clearly, he worked on this a long time. Yep, and there's all this. My name's somewhere in there.
Oh.
So, yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, any more thoughts you want to give about this? Because this was just, like, what did you like best about this whole story? Like, the concept.
Maybe the creativity.
Yeah. The rules made sense.
Oh.
And it made it so bittersweet.
Oh.
Yeah. And, you know, and again, again, so much cliches in here, but showed that cliches can work. Like there's the trope. Not all tropes are bad.
They are tools. Sometimes they work very well.
I wish this got more recognition, if you ask me.
Oh.
It deserves it. This is a book I think that should almost be studied for how well the come up with a narrative so tightly.
Yeah, that's true. Something with the marketing on it probably would help.
Well, yeah, but of course I think he knew as a crowdfunding that was as most it was going to get. Because while he did release in individual issues, it was going to be niche. But I will probably know that this was something that you could only do as an indie crowdfunded creator-owned book.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone would have published this properly. I know. But I love about the best about it is it's both self-contained but sets it up for an ongoing. If there's one complaint I could give this ending is that it does resolve it a little too patly. You know, having it be
because they chose it to actually end that way.
I know, but I'm talking about how they removed any consequences now of the failures. That's what I'm saying. The fact that they removed that.
Yeah, that way it's going to question what kind of conflict can there be then? Well,
I guess simply that I think the conflict can still be. Well, maybe you can look at it as that the conflict is still there about failing. It's just not going to be catastrophic. Which I think that's the other thing that probably makes things worse for Ed. It was not only the fact that she was failing as an editor, but it was failing like she could risk the whole system at risk. That could be the reason why. You remove the system being at risk, but you still have to deal with the failure of the book. Again, I just like so much of this. It's effective, like going in and trying to fix. It's basically like a fix personified.
Oh.
You know, where you try to fix it, but you're not always going to succeed. But I also like how Cliff was able to. He perfected it. What Ed had created. Is that the best way of looking at it?
Yeah, something like that. Someone's creation and taking someone's creation and being able to do it work into something else.
Yeah, because let's be honest. Again, the flaws in Ed's viewpoint, everything were obvious. And I think part of her flaws was she was based off of a real person.
And they were, and some of the ideas she had were old-fashioned.
Exactly, and she was already obsessed beforehand, and a lot of that obsession went into it. Kind of like, you ever watch Red versus Blue?
No.
You know of it?
I am aware of it enough that when it's mentioned, I can know. Yeah, that is a thing that exists.
Okay, there was a character named Tex, badass character wearing black armor, one of the best characters in the show, but she was not a real person. She was an AI based off of the memories of the director's wife who died in war, and he tried to bring her back, but because he was based off of her, she was based off of her memories, his memories of her where she failed. Then what would happen is, and you wouldn't realize it till later, she would be this ass kicker, badass person until she got to what she wanted. She'd be defeating everyone else, but when she got to her end goal, she would always lose because that's how she was remembered, and it was built in. Until the final season that came out a while ago, where Tex was reborn from the memories of the others who didn't have that. And basically, as far as they always knew, she always kicked their ass. So I think Ed is similar to that. Her flaws were so interwoven into her, into this copy of her.
Yeah.
You see the parallel?
Yo, maybe.
Yep. And again, this whole idea about, again, like, can a character grow? Can they become more? Again, I think that's what I like about about Kevin, the most.
Oh.
And the fact that his change happened before we even got started. Because like they said, he used to be a lot worse.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that was plot holes. I don't think we see anything else more to say about it.
No idea, but it was
very good.
I don't know how could you create like a Undertale was able to blow up as an indie title, but I don't know how you could do the same thing with literature.
Exactly. But this, like I said, I think it is as perfect of a book as we've covered. It's so tight. Like, we rarely get books this well. Like, because again, can you think of any flaws that aren't built in?
Not at this point. Maybe later at some point I'll probably bring it up in the.
But even then, they're probably nitpicks or something, right?
But
yeah, so that was Plot Holes. Thank you so much for joining me in this one, Pika. Thank you, everyone else. And we'll see you all in the next one. Take care.
And may your heart be a guiding game.